Imagine this. You're sitting in your favorite armchair, the one where you've read bedtime stories to your grandkids or watched countless sunsets through the living room window. You go to stand up, but your legs feel like they're anchored to the floor. It's not pain, not an injury, just a heaviness that wasn't there a few years ago. You push harder, gripping the armrests, and finally stand, but not without a flicker of fear. What if I can't do this one day? This isn't just aging. It's a silent thief called Sarcopenia, sneaking in after 50 to steal your strength, your balance, and your independence. But here's the good news, you can stop it. And it starts with a few simple changes on your plate and in your day. Hi, I'm Tom, and today I want to share a story that hit close to home. Meet Linda, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Austin, Texas. Linda used to spend her weekends tending her garden, her hands deep in the soil, growing roses that made her neighbors stop and stare. But last year she noticed something unsettling. Climbing the porch steps felt like scaling a mountain. She started avoiding her garden, not because she didn't love it, but because she was afraid of falling. One day she hesitated before stepping off a curb, her heart racing. That's when she realized this wasn't just getting older. Something was wrong. Linda's story isn't unique. Sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength, affects 1 in 3 Americans over 60. It's why standing up feels harder, why stairs seem steeper, why a simple walk can feel like a gamble. But here's what Linda discovered, and what I am excited to share with you today. You don't need fancy supplements or grueling workouts to fight back. In this video, we'll uncover 3 affordable everyday foods, available at any grocery store, that can rebuild your muscles, restore your balance, and help you move with confidence again. Plus, we'll explore 2 simple habits that amplify these foods' power, all backed by science and real stories like Linda's. Before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever felt your legs hesitate just for a moment when you stand or walk? Maybe you've brushed it off, thinking it's just part of aging. I get it. I've seen it in my own family. But what if you could turn back the clock on your strength? Stick with me, because in the next 30 minutes we'll walk through a plan that helped people like Linda stand taller and live bolder. Let start with the surprising truth about what really stealing your strength and how you can take it back, starting today. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything for George, a 73-year-old retired mechanic from Columbus, Ohio. George was the kind of guy who could fix anything: cars, lawnmowers, even his grandkids' bicycles. His hands were strong, his shoulders broad, and he prided himself on never needing help. But one chilly winter morning, as he stepped into his garage to grab a shovel, his foot slipped on a patch of ice. He went down hard, not because he was clumsy, but because his legs simply didn't have the strength to catch him. Lying there, cold concrete beneath him, he realized he couldn't stand up on his own. His wife had to call 911, and from that day on, George lived with a quiet fear. What if I fall again? That moment wasn't just a slip. It was a wake-up call about a condition most of us have never heard of: sarcopenia. So what exactly is sarcopenia? In simple terms, it's the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function that creeps in as we age. Think of your muscles as the engine that powers every step, every lift, every hug you give your grandkids. After 50, that engine starts to lose its horsepower. About 1 to 2% of muscle mass every year if you're over 60, according to a 2019 study in the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association. It's not just about looking less toned, it's about what those muscles do. They keep you steady when you step off a curb, help you stand up from a chair, and give you the confidence to walk your dog without worrying about a stumble. When sarcopenia takes hold, those everyday movements become harder, riskier, and sometimes impossible. Here is why it is such a hidden threat. Sarcopenia doesn't announce itself with flashing warning signs. It's not like a heart attack or a broken bone that demands immediate attention. Instead, it sneaks up slowly. Maybe you notice your legs feel heavier when you climb the stairs. Maybe you start using the handrail more often, or you avoid carrying heavy grocery bags. These changes feel so subtle that most of us chalk them up to just getting older. But a 2021 study in the Lancet Healthy Longevity found that sarcopenia is linked to 50% of hospitalizations due to falls in adults over 65. That right. Half of the falls that send seniors to the ER aren't random accidents. They're tied to this silent muscle loss that no one talks about. Let's dig a little deeper. Sarcopenia doesn't just affect your body, it takes a toll on your spirit. When George couldn't stand up in his garage, it wasn't just his legs that felt weak. It was his sense of independence. He stopped taking his evening walks, afraid of another fall. He started saying no to outings with friends, worried he'd hold them back. That's the real cost of sarcopenia. It doesn't just steal your strength, it chips away at the life you love. A 2020 study in gerontology highlighted this emotional side, showing that seniors with sarcopenia are twice as likely to experience social isolation and depression. It's not just about muscles, it's about missing out on family barbecues, church gatherings, or even a quiet stroll through the park. Now let's compare sarcopenia to other age-related conditions, like osteoporosis or diabetes. Those get regular checkups, medications, and public awareness campaigns. But sarcopenia, it's rarely mentioned in routine doctor visits. Most physicians focus on blood pressure or cholesterol, not muscle strength. Yet the consequences are just as serious. A fall caused by weak muscles can lead to fractures, hospital stays, or even long-term care. In fact, the National Institute on Aging estimates that falls cost the US healthcare system over $50 billion a year, and sarcopenia is a major driver. Unlike osteoporosis, which shows up on a bone scan, or diabetes, which a blood test can catch, sarcopenia hides in plain sight until a fall or a struggle makes it impossible to ignore. Let me share one more piece of George's story. After his fall, George visited his doctor, expecting a prescription or a referral to a specialist. Instead, the doctor shrugged and said, "You're 73, some weakness is normal." That response crushed him. He felt dismissed, like his strength was gone for good. But here's where George's story takes a turn. A friend recommended a nutritionist who specialized in aging, and she introduced him to a simple plan to fight sarcopenia, one that didn't involve drugs or expensive treatments. That plan started with understanding what was happening to his body and believing he could do something about it. Within weeks, George felt a spark of his old strength returning, enough to take short walks again. His story teaches us a vital lesson. Sarcopenia isn't your fault, but it's within your power to fight back. The truth is, sarcopenia thrives in the shadows because we don't talk about it. But knowledge is your first weapon. By recognizing the signs, those heavy legs, that extra effort to stand, you're already one step ahead. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your life to stop it. The key lies in a single nutrient your body craves to rebuild those muscles, and it is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Before we dive into that, let us explore what is really driving this muscle loss and how one powerful amino acid can flip the switch to bring your strength back. Picture a moment from a few years back when Margaret, a 71-year-old grandmother from Raleigh, North Carolina, decided to surprise her grandkids at their soccer game. She'd always been the one cheering loudest from the sidelines, her voice carrying across the field. But that day, as she climbed the bleachers, her legs wobbled and she had to grip the railing to keep from stumbling. It wasn't just the steep steps. It was a sinking feeling that her body wasn't responding the way it used to. Margaret didn't know it then, but her muscles were crying out for a nutrient she'd never heard of, leucine. That moment on the bleachers set her on a journey to rediscover her strength. And it all started with understanding one powerful amino acid that acts like a switch to rebuild your muscles. So, what is leucine, and why is it such a game changer for fighting sarcopenia? Think of leucine as the foreman on a construction site. Your muscles are like a house that's starting to crumble with age, and leucine is the one shouting, "Let's get to work." It's an essential amino acid, one of the building blocks of protein, that tells your body to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. As we get older, our bodies become less sensitive to this signal, kind of like a radio with a weak antenna. After 50, you need more leucine to get the same muscle-building response you had in your 30s. A 2022 study in the Journal of Gerontology showed that older adults who ate foods high in leucine daily saw a 40% improvement in leg strength over 12 weeks, compared to just 22% in those who didn't. That's nearly double the strength gain without any extra exercise. Let's break it down a bit more. Leucine works by activating something called the mTOR pathway. Don't worry about the fancy name. It's just a biological process that flips the switch for muscle protein synthesis. This is your body's way of saying, okay, let's patch up those worn-out muscles. For seniors, this process is critical because sarcopenia isn't just about losing muscle. It is about losing the ability to rebuild it. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study in 2020 that found leucine-rich diets helped older adults maintain muscle mass even during periods of rest, like when they couldn't exercise due to illness or injury. In other words, leucine keeps your muscles ready to bounce back, whether you're recovering from a cold or just getting through a busy week. Now let's compare leucine to other nutrients you might hear about, like vitamin D or omega-3s. Those are important, no doubt. Vitamin D helps with bone strength, and omega-3s reduce inflammation. But leucine is unique because it directly targets muscle repair. It is like the difference between oiling the hinges on a door, that's vitamin D, and rebuilding the door itself, that's leucine. You need both, but without leucine, your muscles don't get the signal to grow stronger. The problem is most seniors aren't getting enough. A typical American breakfast, say toast with jam or a bowl of cereal, has almost no leucine. That's why Margaret, like so many others, was losing strength without even realizing why. Let me take you back to Margaret's story. After that shaky moment on the bleachers, she confided in her daughter, who connected her with a nutritionist. The nutritionist explained that Margaret's diet, heavy on carbs and light on protein, was starving her muscles of leucine. They made a small change, swapping her morning bagel for a leucine-packed food we'll reveal soon. Within a month, Margaret noticed something remarkable. She could climb the stairs to her sewing room without pausing to catch her breath. She even made it through her grandson's entire soccer game, cheering from the top bleacher without a wobble. That wasn't magic. It was leucine quietly telling her muscles to rebuild. Here's where it gets interesting. Leucine isn't just for seniors like Margaret. Elite athletes like Olympic weightlifters have used leucine for decades to boost performance. A 2018 study in sports medicine found that athletes supplementing with leucine recovered faster and built more muscle than those who didn't eat. If it works for Olympians pushing their bodies to the limit, imagine what it can do for someone like you, just trying to walk to the mailbox or carry groceries without strain. The beauty is, you don't need supplements or protein shakes to get it. Leucine is hiding in everyday foods you can find at any grocery store, from Walmart to Whole Foods. There's a small mistake many of us make, though, and it's one Margaret fell into at first. We think all protein is created equal, so we load up on things like peanut butter or beans, hoping it'll do the trick. Those foods are great, but they're low in leucine compared to certain powerhouse options. The Journal of Nutrition points out that to fight sarcopenia, you need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal, more than what most plant-based proteins provide on their own. That's not to say you can't be vegetarian. It just means you need to be strategic. Margaret learned this the hard way, but once she focused on leucine-rich foods, her strength started coming back. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Your muscles are waiting for a signal, and leucine is the key to turning it on. You don't need to be a scientist or an athlete to make this work, just a little know-how and the right foods. Margaret's story shows us that small changes done consistently can bring back the strength you thought was gone for good. And the best part? The first food we're about to share is so simple, so affordable, and so packed with leucine that it's been a staple in American kitchens for generations. Stick with me, because we're about to uncover the one food that can jumpstart your muscle recovery, starting with your very next meal. Let's step into the kitchen of Helen, a 77-year-old retired teacher from Tucson, Arizona, who used to start her mornings with a slice of toast and a cup of coffee. For years, that was her routine. Simple, familiar, comforting. But last spring, after a minor fall in her garden left her with a sprained hip, Helen's world shrank. She stopped taking her daily walks, not because of the injury, but because her legs felt hollow, like they couldn't be trusted. She'd try to stand up from her reading chair, only to lean heavily on the armrests, her heart sinking with every wobbly step. That's when her daughter reached out to me, desperate to help Helen avoid a nursing home. We made one small change to her breakfast, swapping that toast for a food so humble yet so powerful that it helped Helen walk her dog again within weeks. That food? Eggs, nature's perfect muscle fuel. So, why are eggs such a big deal when it comes to fighting sarcopenia? It all comes down to leucine, the amino acid we talked about earlier, which acts like a switch to rebuild your muscles. Each egg packs about 1.3 grams of leucine, making it one of the most efficient ways to deliver this nutrient to your body. But eggs aren't just about leucine. They're a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to repair and grow. For seniors whose digestion isn't as sharp as it used to be, eggs are a godsend because they're easy to break down and absorb. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition put this to the test. Researchers followed a group of adults over 65 with half eating 2 whole eggs every morning alongside a high-fiber side, like spinach or whole grain toast. The other half stuck to their usual breakfast of toast and juice. After 12 weeks, the egg group showed significant improvements in leg strength, balance, and walking speed. They even reported fewer falls and more energy throughout the day. That's the kind of difference a couple of eggs can make. Let's put eggs up against other protein sources to see why they shine. Take chicken breast, great protein, but it's harder to digest and not exactly a breakfast staple. Or protein powders, convenient sure, but they're pricey and often loaded with artificial sweeteners. Eggs, on the other hand, are affordable, less than $1 for a serving of 2. Versatile and available everywhere from your local Safeway to a farmer's market. A dozen eggs can cost as little as $3, yet they deliver muscle-building power that rivals supplements, costing 10 times as much. Plus, eggs are a cultural touchstone in America. Think of Sunday brunch with scrambled eggs or a classic diner breakfast. They're familiar, which makes them an easy first step towards stronger muscles. Now let's talk about Helen's journey. When we first met, she was skeptical. She'd heard old warnings about eggs raising cholesterol and wasn't convinced they'd make a difference. But the science has shifted. Studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic, published as recently as 2023, show that 1 to 2 eggs a day are safe for most adults, especially when paired with a diet rich in vegetables and fiber. So we started small. Helen began eating 2 scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach and a slice of whole grain toast for breakfast. Some days, she'd add a slice of avocado for a creamy boost. Nothing fancy, just real food. Within 3 weeks, she noticed her legs felt steadier. By 6 weeks, she was getting up from her chair without using her arms, and soon after, she was back to walking her golden retriever, Daisy, around the block, alone, with confidence. That wasn't just breakfast, it was a message to her muscles. It's time to rebuild. Here's how you can make eggs work for you. Timing matters. Eat them within an hour of waking to kickstart muscle repair after a night of fasting. Try soft-boiled or poached eggs to preserve their delicate amino acids, or scramble them with olive oil and greens for an antioxidant boost. If you're on the go, bake eggs into mini veggie muffins, perfect for freezing and reheating. Worried about allergies? Tofu scrambles or leucine-rich lentils can step in, though eggs are hard to beat for efficiency. And if cholesterol concerns linger, rest assured, the real danger isn't eggs, it's muscle loss. A 2021 study in Nutrients found that eggs, when part of a balanced diet, don't raise heart disease risk for most people. So unless your doctor says otherwise, eggs are a green light. One mistake I see a lot is thinking eggs alone are enough. They're powerful, but they work best as part of a bigger strategy. Helen learned this when she paired her eggs with a high-fiber side and later other leucine-rich foods. Without that balance, you're only getting half the benefit. The lesson here is clear. Your morning meal is your muscle's first chance to rebuild. Make it count with eggs. Helen's story shows that a small shift, like swapping toast for eggs, can start a chain reaction of strength and confidence. She's proof that you don't need to overhaul your life, just your breakfast plate. But eggs are just the start. What if there was a food that could keep your muscles working hard even while you sleep? That's where our next powerhouse comes in. A creamy, nutrient-packed food that's been a staple in Mediterranean diets for centuries. Stick with me, because we're about to uncover how this nighttime ally can take your muscle recovery to the next level. Close your eyes for a moment and picture Doris, an 82-year-old retired florist from Princeton, New Jersey, sitting at her kitchen table after dinner. For years, this was her quiet ritual. A cup of tea, maybe a cookie, and a few minutes flipping through a gardening magazine. But lately Doris had been struggling. Her legs felt weak, her ankles ached, and walking more than a few blocks left her exhausted. Worst of all, she was plagued by bloating that made her dread meals. She thought this was just her body slowing down, too old to fix. Then her granddaughter suggested a simple addition to her evening routine: a small bowl of creamy, tangy Greek yogurt. That one change didn't just ease her discomfort, it helped Doris rediscover her strength, enough to join a weekly Zumba Gold class and dance with a smile. Greek yogurt isn't just a snack, it's a nighttime superhero for your muscles and bones. So what makes Greek yogurt so special in the fight against sarcopenia? It's like a triple threat for your body, delivering 3 key benefits: protein, calcium, and probiotics. First, let's talk protein. Greek yogurt is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds your muscles a steady stream of amino acids for hours. This is crucial at night, when your body is in repair mode. A 2018 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle found that older adults who consumed casein-rich dairy, like Greek yogurt before bed, had better overnight muscle recovery. After 8 weeks, they showed improved balance and leg function compared to those who skipped it. That means Greek yogurt isn't just nourishing your muscles, it is literally rebuilding them while you sleep. Next up is calcium. A single serving of Greek yogurt provides about 20% of your daily calcium needs, which is vital for keeping your bones strong and your muscles contracting properly. Weak bones and weak muscles are a dangerous combo, like a house with a shaky foundation. The Journal of Bone and Mineral Research published a study in 2021 showing that seniors who regularly ate calcium-rich foods, like Greek yogurt, had better bone density and fewer fractures from falls. And then there's the third benefit: probiotics, the good bacteria that improve digestion and help your body absorb nutrients like protein and calcium more effectively. For seniors whose digestive systems can slow down, this is a game changer. A 2019 study in Nutrients found that probiotics in Greek yogurt reduced inflammation and boosted nutrient uptake, making every bite work harder for your muscles and bones. Let's compare Greek yogurt to other dairy options like regular yogurt or milk. Regular yogurt has less protein, about 8 grams per serving compared to Greek yogurt, as 15 to 20 grams. Milk is great for calcium, but lacks the slow-release casein and probiotics that make Greek yogurt a standout. And unlike ice cream or sugary desserts, Greek yogurt doesn't spike your blood sugar or cause inflammation. Etsy was also affordable. A tub of plain Greek yogurt at stores like Target or Kroger costs around $4 and lasts for days. Plus, it's a staple in Mediterranean diets, known for supporting long, active lives. If eggs are your morning muscle booster, Greek yogurt is your evening repair crew working while you rest. Back to Doris's story. When we first talked, she was hesitant. Dairy hadn't always agreed with her, and she worried about lactose intolerance. But Greek yogurt is naturally lower in lactose, and many brands offer lactose-free versions made from coconut or almond milk. We started with a small step: half a cup of plain Greek yogurt after dinner, mixed with blueberries, a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, and a dash of cinnamon. It was simple, almost like a dessert. Within 2 weeks, Doris's bloating started to fade. By 5 weeks, her legs felt more grounded, and she could walk to the mailbox without her usual ankle pain. 3 months later, she was swaying to music at Zumba Gold, laughing with new friends. That bowl of yogurt wasn't just food. It was a lifeline back to the active, joyful life she thought she'd lost. Here's how you can make Greek yogurt work for you. Choose plain, unsweetened varieties with at least 15 grams of protein per serving. Check the label. Look for live active cultures to ensure maximum probiotic benefits. Full fat options are fine. They contain fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, which support nerve health. Eat it 30 to 60 minutes before bed to align with your body's repair cycle. Try mixing it with fruit and nuts, blending it into a smoothie, or using it as a base for a savory dip with herbs. If lactose is an issue, lactose-free or plant-based Greek yogurts are great alternatives. Just avoid flavored versions with added sugars. They can cause inflammation and undo the benefits. One common mistake is thinking any yogurt will do. Doris made this error at first, grabbing a sweetened vanilla yogurt that left her feeling sluggish. The Journal of Nutrition warns that added sugars in processed foods can increase muscle-damaging inflammation, especially in seniors. Stick to plain Greek yogurt and add your own toppings for control. The lesson here is powerful. Your body rebuilds itself every night. Greek yogurt gives it the tools to do it right. Doris's transformation shows that a small, consistent change can rebuild not just your muscles, but your confidence. But we're not done yet. There's one more food that's small in size but mighty in impact, protecting your nerves and balance in ways you might not expect. It's been a secret weapon in healthy diets for centuries, and it's so easy to add to your day. Stay with me, because we're about to discover how this tiny powerhouse can keep you steady on your feet. Imagine Ronald, a 79-year-old retired mailman from Portland, Oregon, standing at the edge of his driveway, hesitating before stepping onto the sidewalk. For years, Ronald walked miles delivering letters, rain or shine, with a steady stride that was his trademark. But recently his steps had turned into a cautious shuffle. His feet felt numb, his calves ached, and climbing the stairs to his front porch felt like a gamble. He called it the shuffle, a frustrating reminder that his body wasn't keeping up with his spirit. Then, a neighbor shared a tip that seemed almost too simple. Add a spoonful of tiny seeds to his morning routine. Those seeds were chia seeds, and within weeks Ronald felt more connected to his feet, his steps firmer, his confidence returning. Chia seeds may be small, but they're a mighty protector of your nerves and balance, helping you move with ease. So, what makes chia seeds such a powerful ally against sarcopenia? These tiny black and white seeds are packed with nutrients that support your muscles, nerves, and overall mobility. First, they're one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, which keeps your nervous system sharp. As we age, the communication between your brain and muscles can slow down, leading to stumbles or that unsteady feeling when you shift your weight. A 2021 study in nutritional neuroscience found that seniors who added just 1 tablespoon of chia seeds daily for 8 weeks improved their gait speed, reflexes, and neuromuscular control, even without changing their exercise habits. That means chia seeds help your brain and muscles talk to each other more clearly, keeping you steady on your feet. But that's not all. Chia seeds are also loaded with anti-inflammatory compounds, like polyphenols and antioxidants, which reduce joint swelling, muscle soreness, and stiffness, 3 big culprits behind mobility issues. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that omega-3 rich foods, like chia seeds, lowered inflammation markers in older adults by 15%, leading to less pain and better movement. Then there's magnesium, which helps muscles relax and prevents cramps, and calcium, which supports bone strength for stable posture. Plus, chia seeds offer fiber for steady energy and about 4 grams of protein per serving to aid muscle repair. It's like a nutritional Swiss Army knife, all in a seed smaller than a grain of rice. Let's compare chia seeds to other superfoods, like flax seeds or walnuts. Flax seeds are great for omega-3s but need to be ground to be digestible, which can be a hassle. Walnuts are tasty, but higher in calories and less versatile. Chia seeds, on the other hand, are easy to use, no grinding required, and they're tasteless, so they blend into almost anything. A 1-ounce bag costs about $5 at stores like Costco or Trader Joe's and lasts for weeks. They've been a staple in Latin American diets for centuries, used in drinks and puddings, and now they're a go-to for health-conscious Americans. If eggs kickstart your morning and Greek yogurt repairs you at night, chia seeds are your all-day guardian, quietly protecting your nerves and balance. Back to Ronald's story. When we first met, he was frustrated, relying on painkillers for his aching calves and avoiding stairs whenever possible. His doctor offered more meds, but Ronald wanted to fix the root cause. We started with 1 tablespoon of chia seeds daily, stirred into his morning oatmeal. Later, he tried soaking them in almond milk overnight for a creamy pudding, sometimes blending them into smoothies with spinach and banana. Within 3 weeks, he noticed a difference. His feet felt less numb, and he could shift his weight without wobbling. By 2 months, the calf pain that flared up during walks was nearly gone, and he was tackling his porch stairs with confidence. Ronald's secret wasn't a miracle drug. It was chia seeds, supporting his nerves and reducing inflammation so his muscles could work better. Here's how you can add chia seeds to your routine. Aim for 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, preferably soaked in water, milk, or yogurt for 15 to 30 minutes to enhance digestion. Especially important for seniors with slower metabolisms. Stir them into oatmeal, sprinkle over scrambled eggs, or mix into Greek yogurt with fruit. For a treat, make chia pudding with almond milk, cinnamon, and a touch of vanilla. If you're new to chia, start small to avoid digestive discomfort. Too much too fast can cause bloating. Those with swallowing issues can blend them into smoothies for safety. And here's a bonus. Soaked chia seeds expand, helping you feel full longer, which supports healthy weight management, a key factor in protecting your joints. One mistake I see is treating chia seeds like a garnish, sprinkling a pinch and expecting miracles. The Journal of Nutrition suggests you need at least 10 grams daily, about 1 tablespoon, to see anti-inflammatory and nerve benefits. Ronald learned this when he upped his dose from a teaspoon to a tablespoon, noticing faster results. The lesson here is clear. Small seeds can make a big difference, but consistency is key. Ronald's transformation shows that a tiny addition to your diet can reconnect your brain and body, helping you move with the confidence you thought was gone. But food is only part of the equation. What if a simple 5-minute habit could amplify everything we've talked about? Eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and make your muscles even stronger. Stay with me, because we're about to explore a gentle movement routine that's perfect for seniors and can change the way you feel every day. Picture John, a 75-year-old retired farmer from Ames, Iowa, standing in his backyard, watching his grandkids chase each other through the grass. For years, John was right there with them, tossing a football or pushing them on the swing. But lately, he'd been staying on the sidelines not because he didn't want to join, but because getting up from a chair felt like a chore, and his knees wobbled when he walked on uneven ground. He'd started eating eggs, Greek yogurt, and chia seeds, just like we've talked about, but something was still missing. Then a friend invited him to a local Silver Sneakers class, a gentle exercise program for seniors. Just 10 minutes a day of simple movements changed everything. John's not just watching his grandkids now. He's back to playing catch, his steps steady, his smile wide. That missing piece? Gentle exercise, the secret to making nutrition work even harder for your muscles. So why is gentle exercise such a game changer when it comes to fighting sarcopenia? Think of the foods we've covered: eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, as the raw materials for building a strong house. Exercise is the carpenter who puts it all together. Without movement, those nutrients can't fully do their job. Gentle exercise like walking, chair squats, or stretching stimulates your muscles to use the leucine, protein, and omega-3s you're eating, turning them into strength and stability. A 2022 study in the Journal of Gerontology, Medical Sciences, found that seniors who combined a high-protein diet with light resistance exercises, like standing up and sitting down 10 times, gained twice as much muscle strength as those who only ate well. That's double the benefit, just by adding a few minutes of movement each day. Let's break it down. Sarcopenia weakens your muscles because they're not being challenged enough. As we age, we tend to sit more, watching TV, reading, or scrolling on our phones. That lack of activity tells your muscles, "We don't need you," and they start to fade. Gentle exercise sends the opposite message: stay strong. It doesn't have to be intense. A 2020 study in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise showed that older adults who walked briskly for 10 minutes a day or did simple bodyweight exercises like leg lifts improved their balance and reduced their fall risk by 25% over 6 months. These movements also boost blood flow, delivering nutrients to your muscles more efficiently, and they release endorphins, lifting your mood and energy. Now let's compare gentle exercise to the kind of workouts you might see at a gym. Heavy weightlifting or running marathons can be great for younger folks, but for seniors, they're often too risky, leading to strains or injuries. Gentle exercises, like those in Silver Sneakers or chair yoga classes, are designed for aging bodies. They're low impact, easy on the joints, and can be done at home or in a community center. Programs like Silver Sneakers, available at YMCAs and gyms across the US, are covered by many Medicare plans, making them accessible and affordable. A single class might cost nothing or just a few dollars, And the social aspect, chatting with others your age, adds a layer of joy that gym machines can match. Back to John's story. When he first heard about silver sneakers, he was skeptical. "I'm no athlete," he told me, picturing sweaty gym sessions he'd never enjoyed. But his friend convinced him to try one class, promising it was more about moving than competing. John started with a 10-minute routine, standing up and sitting down slowly, lifting his knees while seated and stretching his arms overhead. At first, he felt awkward, but the instructor's encouragement and the group's laughter made it fun. After a month, John noticed he could stand from his porch chair without grabbing the railing. By 3 months, he was walking his quarter-mile driveway daily and tossing a football with his grandson, pain-free. The exercises weren't just building his muscles. They were rebuilding his confidence and his connection to his family. Here's how you can start. Try 3 simple moves at home. Chair squats, stand up and sit down 10 times holding a table for support if needed. Seated leg lifts, lift 1 knee at a time, 10 reps per leg. And arm circles, rotate your arms forward and backward 10 times each. Do them for 5 to 10 minutes daily, maybe while watching the morning news. If you're up for it, check out Silver Sneakers or a local senior fitness class. Many are free through Medicare. Start slow to avoid soreness and listen to your body. If you have mobility issues, seated exercises work just as well. The Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, 2021, found that even chair-based exercises improved muscle strength and balance in seniors over 70, so there's no excuse not to try. One mistake I see is thinking exercise has to be all or nothing. John initially thought he needed to hit the gym for an hour or not bother at all. That mindset kept him stuck. The truth is, even 5 minutes of intentional movement can make a difference. The lesson here is powerful. Gentle exercise turns your nutrition into strength, one small move at a time. John E.'s story shows that you don't need to be a fitness buff to feel stronger. You just need to start moving, even a little every day. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that ties it all together. What if the when of your meals could make your muscles work even harder? Stay with me, because we're about to uncover a simple timing trick that maximizes everything. Your eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and exercise for stronger, steadier steps. Let's step into the cozy kitchen of Sarah, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Tampa, Florida, where the morning sun streams through the window as she sips her coffee. For years, Sarah's breakfast was a quick bowl of cereal or a muffin grabbed on her way out the door to volunteer at the local community center. But lately she'd been feeling drained, her legs heavy by midday, and getting up from her favorite rocking chair took more effort than it used to. She was eating the foods we've talked about, eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and even doing gentle exercises, but something wasn't clicking. Then a nutritionist friend shared a simple trick. It's not just what you eat, but when. By timing her meals to match her body's natural rhythms, Sarah transformed her energy and strength, walking confidently through her neighborhood each morning. Timing your meals is the secret to unlocking the full power of your nutrition. So, why does when you eat matter so much for fighting sarcopenia? Your body is like a factory that rebuilds muscles around the clock, but it works best at certain times. After a night of sleep, your muscles are starved for nutrients, having gone 8 hours or more without fuel. Eating a leucine-rich meal, like eggs, first thing in the morning kickstarts muscle protein synthesis, the process that repairs and strengthens your muscles. Similarly, a protein-packed snack, like Greek yogurt before bed, supports overnight recovery, when your body does its deepest repair work. A 2023 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate a high-protein meal within an hour of waking increased muscle protein synthesis by 30% compared to those who ate later. That's a huge boost from simply choosing the right time to eat. Let's dive deeper. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein, so timing meals to align with your muscles' needs is critical. Breakfast is your golden window because it breaks the overnight fast, delivering leucine and amino acids when your muscles are most receptive. A 2021 study in Nutrients showed that older adults who ate at least 20 grams of protein at breakfast, like 2 eggs with a side of chia seed sprinkled toast, had better leg strength and walking speed after 12 weeks, than those who skipped or delayed their morning meal. At night, a slow-digesting protein like Greek yogurt keeps your muscles fueled for hours, preventing breakdown during sleep. And chia seeds? They're your all-day ally, providing steady energy and nerve support when sprinkled into meals or snacks throughout the day. Now, let's compare eating on a schedule to eating haphazardly. If you skip breakfast or eat protein only at dinner, you're missing your body's prime repair windows. It is like trying to build a house but only sending workers in for one shift a day. The job gets done, but it's slow and incomplete. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who spread protein intake evenly across 3 meals, morning, noon, and night, retained more muscle mass than those who ate most of their protein in one sitting. Timing isn't about rigid rules. It's about giving your muscles consistent fuel to fight sarcopenia. And the best part? It's a strategy that fits into your life, whether you're grabbing eggs at home or Greek yogurt after a busy day. Back to Sarah's story. When we first talked, she admitted she often skipped breakfast, thinking coffee was enough to get her going. By lunchtime, she was exhausted, and her evening meals were heavy, leaving her sluggish. We created a simple plan: 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and chia seeds at 7 a.m., a light lunch with protein, and half a cup of Greek yogurt with berries an hour before bed. At first, Sarah worried it would feel like a chore, but she found it easy to prep eggs in advance and keep yogurt in the fridge. Within 2 weeks, she felt more energized, her legs less heavy. By 6 weeks, she was walking a mile each morning, chatting with neighbors, and getting up from her rocking chair without a second thought. Timing her meals didn't just feed her muscles, it gave her days more purpose and joy. Here's how you can make meal timing work for you. Aim for a leucine-rich breakfast, like 2 eggs with chia seed-sprinkled toast, within an hour of waking. For lunch and dinner, include 15-20 grams of protein, such as chicken, fish, or lentils. Before bed, have a small serving of Greek yogurt, about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep, to fuel overnight recovery. Sprinkle chia seeds into any meal or snack, oatmeal, smoothies, or yogurt, for steady support. A sample schedule might look like 7 a.m. eggs, noon grilled chicken salad, 6 p.m. fish with veggies, and 8 p.m. Greek yogurt with chia seeds. If mornings are rushed, prep boiled eggs the night before. For those with dietary restrictions, tofu or protein smoothies can replace eggs or yogurt. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society 2022 found that consistent meal timing improved muscle function in seniors, even with modest protein intake. So simplicity works. One mistake Sarah made early on was eating her biggest meal late at night, thinking it would make up for skipping breakfast. This overloaded her digestion and missed the morning repair window, slowing her progress. The lesson here is clear. Timing your meals is like setting the rhythm for your muscles' recovery. Get it right, and everything works better. Sarah's story shows that a small shift in when you eat can amplify the foods and exercises we've talked about, bringing back strength you thought was gone, but we're not done yet. What if all these pieces, eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, exercise, and timing, could come together to create a life where you feel strong and unstoppable? Stay with me, because we're about to wrap it all up with a vision of what is possible and a simple step to start today. Let's revisit Linda, the 67-year-old retired teacher from Austin, Texas, who we met at the start of this journey. When we first found her, she was avoiding her beloved garden, her heart heavy with the fear of falling. The porch steps felt like a mountain, and the roses she once tended with pride were wilting from neglect. But Linda didn't give up. She started with small changes: eggs for breakfast, Greek yogurt before bed, chia seeds sprinkled into her meals, gentle chair exercises, and a meal schedule that fueled her body right. 6 weeks later, Linda stood in her garden, hands in the soil, planting new rose bushes. Her steps were steady, her smile radiant as her neighbors stopped to admire her blooms and her newfound strength. Linda's story isn't just about muscles. It's about reclaiming the life she loves, and you can do the same. So what does it all mean? The foods and habits we've explored, eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, gentle exercise, and meal timing, are more than a checklist. They're a strategy to fight sarcopenia, the silent thief stealing your strength. Together, they rebuild your muscles, sharpen your nerves, and protect your bones. giving you the freedom to move without fear. A 2023 study in the Lancet Healthy Longevity found that seniors who combined high-protein diets with light exercise reduced their fall risk by 30% and reported higher life satisfaction. That's not just science. It's the difference between watching your grandkids play and joining them, between hesitating at a curb and stepping forward with confidence, between feeling fragile and feeling unstoppable. Think about what this could look like for you. Imagine it's 6 weeks from now. You're standing up from your favorite armchair without gripping the armrests. You're walking through the park with your dog, feeling the ground solid beneath your feet. You're bending down to tie your shoes, then standing tall with ease. This isn't a fantasy. It's what Linda, John, Sarah, and others discovered by taking small, consistent steps. The Journal of Gerontology, 2022, backs this up. Seniors who adopted these habits not only gained muscle strength, but also felt more connected to their families and communities. Strength isn't just physical. It's the joy of hosting a family barbecue, dancing at a friend's wedding, or simply knowing you can rely on your body. One mistake we often make is waiting for the perfect moment to start. Linda almost did. She thought she was too old to change. But the truth is, every day you wait is a day Sarcopenia gains ground. The lesson here is simple. Your strength is still within reach, and it starts with one small step today. Linda's roses are blooming again because she chose to act, and you can too. Picture yourself 6 months from now, stronger, steadier, living the life you love. That's the payoff of these simple changes. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from today, maybe eggs for breakfast, a 5-minute walk, or a bowl of Greek yogurt tonight, and try it. Share your choice in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're starting with. And don't miss our next video where we'll reveal a 5-minute habit that can supercharge your muscle recovery even more. Hit that subscribe button and let us keep this journey going together. You are stronger than you know.